Hi, everybody. We hope you're doing well. I loved one of the phrases in Indonesia because it pointed to one of the most essential foods in the whole culture. There was a phrase that basically said, if you haven't eaten rice, you haven't eaten. Meaning, you could eat whatever you want, but the only thing that will really fill you up, the only thing that will really satisfy you is rice. And rice is the essential part of an Indonesian diet. It's, in a sense, it's life, because as long as you could eat rice, you could survive, you could make it. And we've transitioned into looking at names of Jesus, and we're looking at names that he linked, or metaphors that he linked to the phrase I am. And we looked last week at how whenever he would use that term I am, it was actually a connection to being God, to being deity, to being the Messiah. So when people heard that, they would think of God as being Yahweh, as being the great I am. And then Jesus begins to bring these metaphors into relationship with that word I am. And one of them that he uses is I am the bread of life. Now, if you think of Western culture, bread is such an important part of the diet. So in so many ways, rice is a great metaphor for Asian or other countries around the world, because it is so essential to life. Here, they might say if you have bread and water, you could survive. And there's all these illustrations related to bread. So what's interesting is this comes right after Jesus feeds the 5,000, and he begins to try to make an illustration of how he is the source of life, how he is essential to life. And in the moment of him providing this food, the people sort of missed the point. They were more excited about getting the free food, about getting a free meal, than they were about actually being in the presence of the Messiah, of understanding that he was there to give true life. It's like any starving college student that a lot of times if you can just get anything free, especially food, then you don't care what's going on. You just want the free meal. So I'm going to read out of John chapter 6. There's multiple times in the later part of this chapter where Jesus refers to him being the bread of life, but I'll just read from verse 47 to verse 51. It says this, Jesus is speaking, and he says, I tell you the truth, anyone who believes has eternal life. Yes, I am the bread of life. Your ancestors ate manna in the wilderness, but they all died. Anyone who eats the bread from heaven, however, will never die. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Anyone who eats this bread will live forever, and this bread which I offer so that the world may live is me. It's my flesh. So Jesus even parallels back when some of the religious leaders are talking about the Old Testament and those types of things, and they are so astute in the Old Testament. He even brings up manna. If you remember manna from the Old Testament, it was sort of a flaky type of dough or food that would show up on the ground, and they didn't even know what to call it, so they called it manna, and they would make like cakes, or maybe you could sort of think of it as breads from this manna. And so even in that sense, there was an image of God always providing for people's needs, daily providing for what people needed. He provided this manna, and it kept them alive. It gave them daily sustenance. And so as people are eating this bread and the feeding of thousands of people miraculously of bread and fish, as religious leaders are coming around and going against Jesus, and he brings up the Old Testament, then he begins to show them, I'm this. I am the source of life. I'm the source of your happiness. I am the one who will sustain you. I'm not talking about this physical bread. I'm not talking about this manna from the Old Testament. I'm talking about my very life. I am here to keep you alive, to give you life, to be the source of life. And that's essentially what Jesus is saying, is that he is essential for life. He is the source of life. He is I am. He is God. He's the Messiah. And he also talks about not physical hungers and thirsts and longings, but those deeper ones in our souls of longing for purpose, of longing for love, of hungering for direction and for meaning, and ultimately hungering for God. He's the one who will meet those and quench our hunger and our thirst, those deepest longings that we have. So it's not just that the rice is enough to keep us alive, but it can be an amazing life. If you know Indonesian cuisine and other cultures' cuisine around the world, it's not just a bowl of white rice, even though that's the most common. You can have fried rice and all types of fried rice. You can have yellow rice, you can have mixed rice, you can have so many variations of rice. And rice can be extremely good. So it's not just a bowl of white rice that you imagine having a cup of water and a bowl of rice and just eating and drinking just enough to be sustained. But you take what you've been given that gives you life, and so much beauty can come out of it. That is what Jesus is trying to say. It's not just that he's God, but that he brings life. He is essential for life. He is the source of life, and life becomes so much more beautiful when we live for him and follow him completely in our lives. I'm going to read and close with a couple of verses out of 1 John chapter 5. This is verse 11 and 12. It says this. This is what God has testified. He's given us eternal life, and this life is in his Son. Whoever has the Son has the life, but whoever does not have the Son of God does not have life. Because of Jesus' life, his death, and his resurrection, only he could truly fulfill the deepest longings that we have, because he's not just the I am, God, but he's the bread of life. He is the one who keeps us alive, but makes life so much beautiful if we would follow him. God bless.